Namaste. Today we discuss a pivotal moment. From May 11th to June 20th, we are entering a 40-day cosmic shift as Mars, the planet of action, finally breaks free. In Vedic astrology, Mars is the Senapati or commander in chief. For months, our collective willpower was dampened, but now the god of war enters the sign of Aries. This isn't just a change in position, it's a 40-day transit analysis of how you can reclaim your fire. Aries is the first sign of the natural zodiac, representing the I am and the very beginning of existence. Prepare to move from stagnation to pure momentum. For the past 76 days, Mars was imprisoned, locked in the enemy territory. It was shackled by Rahu in Aquarius. Then, it was also suffocated by Saturn in Pisces. I've also created another video on this conjunction of Saturn and Mars called the Yama Yoga. Please have a look at it on my channel. I will put the link in the description. The planet of courage, vitality, and decisive action was caged so far, but now, when a planet returns to its own sign, its power is magnified. Mars, as the commander or Senatipati of planetary army in Aries, has this full arsenal. This transit is about strength, momentum, and the courage to master what you once feared. The gandanta, crossing the karmic knot. Let's understand what a gandanta actually means. Gand, knot, plus anta, the end. It is the perilous transition zone between a water sign, in this case Pisces, and fire sign Aries. Mars moves from Pisces to Aries. Let's look at the impact. For the first week, beginning May 11th, Martian energy is notoriously untamed, volatile. It's ignited before stability is achieved. The energy can feel out of control for the first week of this transit. Expect things to feel erratic. As Mars enters Aries, let's look at the nakshatras through which it transits. Its first stop is in Ashwini from May 11th to May 28th. Ashwini is ruled by Ketu and symbolized by the horsemen, the physicians to the gods. The energy of the nakshatra is fast moving and spiritual. Because the Ashwin Kumars were healers who often lack recognition, you might feel underappreciated right in the first phase of this transit from May 11th to 28th. But keep going. This is a profound time for miraculous healing and medical breakthroughs. If you have been struggling with a health issue, the Martian energy in Ashwini provides the life force in your blood to fight back. After Ashwini, the next nakshatra Mars transits is through Bharani. On May 20th, Mars enters Bharani Nakshatra. This is the nakshatra of the bearer, symbolized by the uterus. It's ruled by Yama, the god of death. But don't let that scare you. Yama was the first to experience death, so he could understand the human process. The phase is about breakthroughs in consciousness. It represents the birth of something new and the ending of the old. With Mars power here, you have the labor pains of a new project or a new version of yourself. It's intense, but it's necessary for progress. So after Bharani, Mars enters Krittika on June 15th and stays up till the 20th. This is the first part of Krittika Nakshatra while still in Aries. The energetic reality, it's when Mars is in this nakshatra, it's direct, sharp, and slightly nasty. Mars in Aries acts as the god of war. Placed in Krittika, it seeks to forcefully cut to the chase and execute change. The directive: expect a highly feisty, potent environment. Use the window for direct focus and momentum, but avoid unnecessary warlike missions. You can see the lunar diagnostic mansion. We have discussed all the deeds in detail before, but to summarize it, Mars is in Ashwini from May 11th to 28th, then it moves to Bharani from May 28th to June 15th, and then finally it moves to Krittika for a short period of 5 days from June 15th to 20th. You can follow the optimal human action for each of these dates. Now, let's actually go to the signs of the Rashis. First, when Mars enters Aries, it returns home. It puts on its own armor, takes up its own weapon, and fights on its own battlefield. But this transit goes deeper than just Swakshetra. The first 12 degrees of Aries, 0 to 12 degrees, it is the zone of highest planetary potency in the Mool Trikona sign. Think of this as Mars in its command center. After months of Angarak Dosha, with the conjunction in Rahu in Aquarius, and Saturn conjunction, which formed the Yama Yoga in Pisces, the fire of ambition is finally unadulterated. Let us quickly recap the transit story of the 76 days of how Mars moved from bondage to the Mool Trikona sign. In the first part of the 76 days, the first 37 days it was locked with Rahu in Aquarius. That triggered global conflict and illusion. And then came the frustration. In the part 2 of this 76 days, that is the 39 days, it was with Saturn in Pisces, creating Yama Yoga, stalling momentum, suppressing bravery. Now the 40 days liberation, the release. May 11th to June 20th, Mars enters Aries, its home. From 0 to 12 degrees of Aries, Mars is in the zone of highest strength and pure unadulterated fire. So, a sudden explosive return of kinetic energies in the air, the fighting spirit, and raw momentum. Let us now move to the astrological mechanics of this transit. Ruchak Yoga forms when Mars occupies its own sign or exaltation sign, Aries, Scorpio, or Capricorn, and sits in one of the 4 angular houses of the chart. The Kendra houses, the 1st, the 4th, the 7th, or the 10th house. 3 conditions must align. 1. Mars in Aries, Swakshetra strength, active. 2. No heavy malefic interference. This is also largely met. 3. Angular house placement. Again, this depends on your ascendant. So who gets the Ruchak Yoga activated right now? It is the Cancer ascendant. Mars in Aries for the Cancer ascendant is in the 10th house of career, status, authority. This is Ruchak Yoga in the most powerful angular house. You are in a career Raja Yoga window right now. The other ascendant that benefits from the Ruchak Yoga is the Capricorn ascendant. Mars in Aries is in your 4th house for Capricorn ascendants. 4th house represents property, home, mother, vehicles. Ruchak Yoga in the house of happiness and real estate. These 2 ascendants are experiencing something that happens only once in approximately 2 years. The ancient texts say Ruchak Yoga bestows extraordinary leadership ability, immense physical vitality, wealth through effort, and battles won. Also respect from authority figures, courage that others cannot match. You don't need the yoga natally. The transit activates a temporary Ruchak, a window of heightened Martian grace, a window that's open right now for Cancer and Capricorn. Move deliberately, move boldly. This is your moment. Let's talk a bit about mundane astrology on the global events. Mars in Aries doesn't just affect your personal horoscope, it shakes the entire world. From geopolitics conflicts to economic surges, from social movements to military events. Number 1. Conflict escalation. Mars in its own sign rules warfare, military action, and violence. When Mars is strong and in Aries, the ancient texts consistently correlate with heightened military tensions globally. Watch for disputed borders, naval confrontations, and sudden military announcements in the next 40 days. Number 2. There's going to be an innovation surge. The creative competitive fire of Aries ignites entrepreneurship worldwide. Expect startup announcements, technological breakthroughs, and record-breaking athletic events. The human will to compete and create spikes. Number 3. Social anger. Mars in Aries lights up collective frustration. Public protests, civil unrest, and sharp political disagreements become more common. People worldwide become less tolerant of injustice, for better and for worse. Number 4. Economic acceleration. Stalled deals and blocked projects suddenly move. Mars energy breaks logjams. International agreements that were deadlocked may suddenly conclude. Number 5. Fire and heat events. Mars rules fire, heat, and explosions. Historically strong Mars periods correlate with wildfires, industrial accidents, and heat waves. Be vigilant, be prepared in your local community. So the 12 ascendants, a diagnostic overview. How the 40-day transit impacts your specific astrological blueprint. So let's look at through the lens of 3 buckets: prime beneficiaries, positive flow, cautious path. In the first bucket of prime beneficiaries, there's high momentum. The signs in this bucket are Cancer, Leo, and Aquarius. Cancer ascendant, Mars activates your 10th house of career, Ruchak Yoga. Career breakthroughs are incoming. For Leo ascendant, Mars enters your 9th house, fortune, luck, father, and long distance travel get supercharged. For the Aquarius ascendant, Mars empowers your 3rd house of courage, siblings, short trips, and communications. All these surges. Now let's go to the second bucket of positive flow, growth, and planning. In this bucket are Aries, Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Aries, your ascendant lord returns home, health and confidence surge. Capricorn, Mars in your 4th house activates property and family happiness. Sagittarius, 5th house activation of children's speculation and creativity bloom. Pisces, your 2nd house is activated of wealth accumulation and speech. Let's go to the third and the last bucket. In this bucket, we have Taurus, Libra, Virgo, and Gemini. In this, it is called the cautious path, and some restraint is required. Taurus, Libra, Virgo, Gemini, and to some extent Scorpio in certain areas, you will face specific challenges that require deliberate strategy. In the upcoming slides, we'll go over each of the signs in more detail. Now let's go to the Mars ruled signs, Aries and Scorpio, reclaiming the throne. For Aries and Scorpio, the ascendant lord returns to full power. Aries, the 1st house transit. If you are an Aries moon, then you get a slight relief from Saraswati oppression. Confidence and health surge back. So when Mars moves into Aries, it positively aspects the 4th, 7th, and the 8th houses. What are the opportunities for Aries ascendant? Also the moon sign. Ancestral property gains, business expansion, favorable marriage prospects, and if you're in the real estate profession, the real estate developers thrive. Now let's go to Scorpio. For Scorpio, it's the 6th house transit. Mars thrives in 6th. It can help you defeat your enemies. From the 6th, Mars aspect the 9th, 12th, and the 1st houses, favorable for health and courage. The opportunities of this transit for Scorpio: immense capacity to crush debt and diseases because Mars moves to your 6th house. Since Mars is in your 6th house, you're more likely to winning competitions. It also boosts your confidence, and it also helps people who are in the legal and service professions. Taurus ascendant, Mars transits your 12th house. The 12th house rules hidden enemies, secret losses, unnecessary expenses, hospitals, foreign lands, and sleep. With Mars here for 40 days, you may notice sudden unexplained expenses, secret opposition from people you trust. You might find yourself restless with broken sleep and minor health issues, particularly with legs. Your antidote: do not make large impulsive financial decisions in the next 40 days. No speculative investments. No new loans. Reduce screen time after 10 p.m. Donate to charity on Tuesdays. This channels the 12th house Mars energy outward and protects you. Dig into the past and watch your sleep. Now let's move to the Libra ascendant. Mars enters your 7th house. It's also known as the Maraka house. The 7th house rules marriage, business, partnerships, and legal contracts. With Mars here, you will feel friction in your closest relationships. Arguments with your spouse or partner may escalate. Business disagreements become heated. Additionally, the 7th is a Maraka house, meaning health requires attention and monitoring. Nothing catastrophic, but be attentive to blood pressure, inflammation, and stress-related symptoms. In this transit, your antidote is to offer unconditional support to your partner, even when they don't deserve it. Practice silence in arguments. Avoid signing new business contracts in the first 15 days. Be careful of your partners. They might be extra argumentative. Now let's move to the two Mercury-ruled signs, Gemini and Virgo. Profit versus peril. Divergent paths for the intellect-driven ascendants. Gemini ascendant, you are in the golden category. Mars transits your 11th house is one of the most income positive transit positions in Vedic astrology. The 11th house is the Lavasthana, the house of gains, income, fulfillment of desires, elder siblings, and social networks. With Mars here, you gain fighting energy directed at income. You don't want to just have money. You want to compete for it and win. Specifically, job interviews become competitive wins. New income streams open. Social networks bring financial opportunities. Competitions, academic, professional, athletic, favor you strongly. Mars here also aspects the 2nd, 5th, and the 6th houses simultaneously, improving savings, speculative luck, and competitive strength. However, health caution for Geminis: Mars here can trigger inflammatory conditions. Strictly avoid tamasic, heavy, or extremely spicy food during this transit. Take care of your digestion. Advice: compete, but protect your body. Since Mars is in the 11th house for the Gemini ascendant, you'll meet fiercely interesting new people. Now let's move to Virgo ascendant. The 8th house transit. 8th house, this is the house of sudden events, hidden matters, transformation, surgery, inheritance, research, and the occult. Mars in the 8th house brings sudden changes. You, you should try to avoid surgery unless absolutely necessary. Speculative investments and reckless physical activity during this period should also be avoided. However, and this is important for those of you who work in research, astrology, investigation, forensics, or psychology, this transit can be exceptional for uncovering hidden truths. Some of the most profound occult discoveries happen under the 8th house Mars transits. Tread carefully in the financial matters, avoid physical risks, but if you're a researcher, astrologer, or investigator, go deep. What you find may astonish you. Luminary ruled signs Cancer and Leo, Fortune and Raja Yoga. The Moon, Cancer. The Moon rules Cancer and the Sun rules Leo, receive royal, dynamic blessings from Mars. Cancer Ascendant. Mars is your 10th house lord and it is now transiting your 10th house. The 10th house is the house of career, authority, public recognition, and status. When the ruler of a house transits back into the same house, the ancient texts call it extraordinary, but there's even more. Mars in Aries in your 10th house, which is a Kendra, an angular house, forms Ruchak Yoga, the Pancha Mahapurusha Yoga of the warrior king. In the career house, what this means practically, job offers appear suddenly, promotions that seem years away happen now, authority figures notice you, public recognition expands dramatically, creative professionals, architects, designers, engineers. This is the window when you combine this transit with the upcoming phase. Cancer, Cancer folks, apply for that promotion now. Submit that proposal, show up visibly. Don't work in the background during this period. The spotlight is yours. Again, it's a powerful boost for your career and work. Let's move to the Leo ascendant. Mars rules your 4th and the 9th houses, and it is now in your 9th house. 9th house is the house of fortune, luck, dharma, guru, father, and long distance travel. And Mars has entered the house of fortune, the Lord of Fortune walking into the house of fortune. Your confidence rebounds completely from any previous confusion. Wisdom returns. Guidance comes through unlikely sources. Father or guru may play a significant role in the next 40 days. Foreign connections and opportunities surge. Content creators, writers, and educators under Leo ascendant. Your reach is about to expand dramatically. Expect sudden travel. Cancer and Leo, the cosmos is singing your names right now. Move, act, create. The window is open. Let's now move to the Jupiter ruled signs, Sagittarius and Pisces. It's about mind and money. Clarity returns to philosophical and spiritual ascendants. Sagittarius ascendant. Mars rules your 5th and 12th houses and it's now transiting your 5th house. The 5th house is the house of intelligence, creativity, children, romance, spiritual practices, and speculative gains. It's also the house of Purva Punya, the blessings from your past life's good karma. Students, your focus sharpens dramatically. Academic performance can spike. Professors and teachers, your teaching becomes more impactful. Creative artists, a new burst of inspired work is coming. One important caution for Sagittarius: Mars in the 5th house can make you impulsive about romantic connections and speculative investments. The mind is clear but can move too fast. Think before you leap into a new love or new market positions. Now let's move to the Pisces ascendant. Saturn pressing down on your Lagna has been relentless, but Mars now enters your 2nd house, the house of accumulated wealth, family, speech, and food. The 2nd house activation specifically mentioned in the classic texts as a sign of recovery. The financial restructuring begins, insurance, banking, and wealth preservation activities are highlighted. Be careful of your speech, do not be too blunt, because Mars is in the second house. Now let's move to the Saturn ruled signs Capricorn and Aquarius, ambition unlocked. The signs of discipline channel Mars into tangible, real world conquests. Capricorn ascendant, pay close attention to this. Mars itself transits your fourth house for this 40-day window. The fourth house rules home, mother, vehicles, property, domestic happiness, and ancestral wealth. With Mars here, the energy of home becomes active, renovating, and expanding. Career momentum is at a peak for Capricorn. Interviews go extraordinarily well, new job opportunities appear in multiple directions. If you're in the construction, real estate, interior design, or architecture, this is one of the best 40-day periods of your year for professional contracts. Property transactions initiated now carry favorable energy. If you have been waiting to buy or renovate, begin the process now. Fourth house, changes or moves regarding your home are likely. With Mars in the fourth, monitor heart health, particularly if your current Dasha period involves Saturn or Rahu. Keep your body active. Don't suppress the Mars energy by saying sedentary. Now, let's move to the Aquarius ascendant. For Aquarius ascendant, it is your third house transit. Mars enters its ideal fighting configuration, fully leaving Rahu and Saturn behind. The third house is the house of courage, siblings, short travels, communications, and fighting spirit. This is called the Parakramasthana, the house of valor. With Mars, the planet of valor, in the house of valor for Aquarius, the fighting spirit configuration is complete. You can crush competitors. You recall that business rival? This is the time that it can be handled. There could be challenging sibling dynamic, but it can be resolved on your terms. Short trips and journeys yield unexpected profitable results. Police, military athletes, motivation speaker, martial artists. If you are an Aquarius ascendant in one of these fields, you are peak effectiveness right now. You'll also learn new things, but watch for sibling rivalry. Personal diagnostic. Is Mars afflicting you? The self-test. How to read the symptoms of this 40-day transit in your daily life. I'm going to describe two people. As I describe them, notice which one you recognize more in yourself right now. On the left pane represents person A. Person A wakes up irritable before their feet hits the floor. They are already cataloging everything that's wrong. Throughout the day, they make snap decisions they later regret. They argue not because they are wrong, but because their nervous system is on fire. They cut people off in traffic. They send emails they later want to take back. At night, they can't sleep because their mind won't stop grinding. Their body shows it too. In relationships, unnecessary conflicts with partners or business associates. Secret resentments building, saying too much at the wrong time to the wrong people. This is imbalanced Mars energy. Martian fire with no channel, combustion with no engine. Now let's go to the right pane of the slide, person B, who has harnessed Mars. Person B wakes up with vision clarity. They move quickly, make decisive choices, and follow through without second guessing. Their competitiveness is directed at problems, at goals, at obstacles, not at people. Their body is strong, energized, and performing. Their relationships are protected because they have chosen to fight for their loved ones rather than with them. Their social energy is protective, leading, and courageous. They cut through bureaucracy and get things done. This is harnessed Mars energy. If you're person A, don't panic. The difference between these two people is not fate. It's awareness and one daily practice. The single most powerful practice for channeling Mars energy is physical exercise. Try to exercise every day for these 40 days. It could be early in the morning or in the evening or at your convenient time that works for you. But if you burn the fire of Mars productively, it will stop burning you. Dasha and transit synergy amplifying the effect. The Vimshottari Dasha system determines when transits fully manifest. Mars transit alone is only half the story. Vedic astrology operates on two simultaneous systems. The first is Gochara, the transit system. Where are the planets right now in the sky? Mars, accordingly, is in Aries. That is the transit. The second is the Vimshottari Dasha system, a 120-year planetary period cycle based on moon's Nakshatra at your birth. Each person is in a specific major period, also known as Mahadasha, and sub-period, also known as Antardasha, at any given moment. Results manifest when the transit and the dasha agree. Let me give you 5 examples. If you're in a Mars Mahadasha or Antardasha right now, this transit multiplies your results by a factor of 10. Career, property, health, and competitive success themes dominate your life for the next 40 days. The Ruchak Yoga, if it forms according to your ascendant, activates fully. If you're in a Jupiter Dasha, the Guru magnifies Mars' wisdom and righteousness. Exceptional for education, legal matters, spiritual growth, and publishing. If you're in a Sun Dasha, leadership, authority, and government-related matters surge powerfully. Father's health may also become a topic. If you are in Saturn Dasha, caution here. Mars-Saturn friction creates obstacles. Rash action during Saturn Dasha is specifically dangerous. Channel Mars through Saturnian disciplines. Structured exercise, fasting, and service. If you are in a Rahu or Ketu Dasha, amplification is unpredictable. Foreign elements, technology, and unconventional breakthroughs are possible, but sudden reversals are equally possible. Stay adaptable. Now let's go through the Mars aspects, the 3 martial gazes. Mars special drishti. Unlike other planets, Mars casts 3 special aspects. Its gaze transforms the house it eyes. First, in this transit, it aspects the 4th house through the 4th house drishti, or the 4th house aspect. So from Aries, it aspects Cancer. Mars from Aries aspects Cancer, the house of home, mother, happiness, property, and vehicles. Expect sudden activity in real estate, renovations, family conflicts, and ancestral property matters. Mars also has the 7th aspect. From Aries, it aspects Libra. The warrior's gaze falls on marriage, business partnerships, and legal disputes. Relationships face pressure. Venus domain is activated. Avoid impulsive romantic or contractual decisions. Mars also has the 8th aspect. From Aries, it aspects Scorpio. Mars eyes its own sign Scorpio, which rules transformation, inheritance, insurance, and research. Scorpio ascendants gain strength here. Sudden changes in life direction are also possible, as it activates the 8th house energies of sudden transformation. The remedial science, Upaya, the holistic remedial matrix. Practical methods to channel 40 days of extreme kinetic energy. Let's start with the body. Kinetic burn. Mars rules physical energy, muscles, and the adrenal system. When Mars is supercharged and you are sedentary, it turns inward and becomes aggression, inflammation, and restlessness. The remedy: move your body intensely every single day. Gym, sports, swimming, running, any intense physical exercise. The ultimate physical remedy could also be you could donate blood. Offering to save lives is also one of the remedies according to Jyotish. One donation could shift the energy. Now let's move to the quadrant 2, that is the diet. Cooling of the fire. Mars creates pitta, fire in the body. Spicy, oily, heavy tamasic food amplify this fire into inflammation, anger, and skin problems. Remedy: switch to cooling foods for 40 days. Use jaggery instead of refined sugar. Coconut water, cucumber, amla, and buttermilk daily also helps. Also, you could take honey every morning. Quadrant 3, society. Service as a remedy. Mars channeled into ego becomes violence. Mars channeled into service becomes heroism. These are the two expressions of the same energy. The remedy: engage in active volunteering. Feed the hungry on Tuesday. Donate red lentils to temple or shelter. Protect the vulnerable. This is not charity, this is conscious energy redirection. Quadrant 4, the mind. The governor, the mind. This is the most important of all four. All other remedies fail without this one. Daily meditation, even 15 minutes, is the difference between Mars that leads you and the Mars that consumes you. Patience is not weakness. It is the master skill for a Mars in Aries period. Mantra Shastra, mantras of liberation. Specific sound frequencies to harmonize the Martian energy. You could repeat Mars Beach Mantra 108 times daily, aligns personal energy with planetary momentum. You could also repeat Kartikeya Gayatri, and you could also do Hanuman devotion. For me, this is my personal favorite. Recite the Hanuman Chalisa. In effect, it converts scattered anger into focused devotion and immense physical protection. Since Mars rules over Tuesday, let's look at the Tuesday protocols. Mangalavar rituals. The Tuesday protocol. Tuesdays are sacred to Mars, Mangal. Each Tuesday during this transit carries compounded power. During the Brahma Muhurta, that is 4 to 6 am, recite Hanuman Chalisa, offer red flowers plus Sindhu to Hanuman, chant Mars Beej Mantra 108 times. In the morning after sunrise, wear red clothing, donate red lentils, fast or avoid non-vegetarian food, begin new ventures or projects. Midday, sun at peak, offer water with red flowers to the sun, recite Aditya Hridaya Sotram if facing enemies, avoid arguments, channel energy into physical work. Evening, sunset, light a ghee lamp before Hanuman idol, feed sweet roti to cow if possible, review and plan the week ahead with clear mind. The Nakshatra transit, we already went through this, but let's go in more detail here. Mars through the Nakshatra of Aries. The 40-day journey passes through 3 lunar mansions, each with a distinct flavor. Phase 1, Ashwini. Ashwini Nakshatra occupies 0 degrees to 13 degrees 20 minutes of Aries. Planetary rod is Ketu. The deity is Ashwini Kumaras, the divine twin physicians. Ashwini is the first nakshatra of the zodiac, the starting point of the entire cosmic journey. Its energy is pure, fast, and miraculous. When Mars transits Ashwini, the energy is lightning. Things begin with supernatural speed. Projects started during Ashwini phase often achieve in days what normally takes months. The Ashwini Kumaras are divine healers. Medical treatments, surgeries, and health interventions initiated during Ashwini phase carry unusually favorable outcomes. If you need a procedure or treatment, this is the window. For business and competition, Ashwini favors those who move first. The early mover advantage is astronomical during this phase. Phase 2, Bharani Nakshatra. The Bharani Nakshatra occupies 13 degree 20 minutes to 26 degrees 40 minutes of Aries. Planetary Lord Venus, deity Yama, the god of death and dharma, symbol Yoni. This is the most complex phase. Mars the warrior enters Venus's nakshatra. Fire meets beauty. Aggression meets desire. Creation meets destruction. Bharani's themes are life, death, birth, and transformation. The relationships you form or transformation during Bharani phase carry karmic weight. Creative work born during Bharani has unusual depth and intensity. The Bharani amplifies obsession. Watch for possessiveness, jealousy, and all or nothing thinking. These are Mars-Venus shadow patterns activated here. Face the things you have been avoiding. Bharani gives you the courage to look at death, metaphorical or literal, and transform through it. Phase 3, Krittika Nakshatra. Krittika Nakshatra occupies 26 degrees 40 minutes to 30 degrees of Aries. The closing phase, planetary lord is the sun, symbol, a razor. Deity, Agni, the fire god. The exit phase, Mars, fueled by sun's nakshatra, becomes precise and cutting. This is the period of endings, burning away that doesn't serve, serving what must be served, completing what must be completed before the next cycle. Decisions made during Krittika tend to be final. Use the energy to close chapters with clarity. Mars in action, the warrior's domains, who benefits the most? Athletes and sports. Mars in its Mool Trikona supercharges physical performance. Competitions entered now carry exceptional results for Aries, Cancer, and Aquarius ascendants. Peak conditioning and record-breaking momentum. Entrepreneurs and warriors. The cosmic entrepreneur gets a 40-day wind at his back. Business battles, pitches, and negotiations favor the bold. Aquarius, Cancer, and Capricorn dominate market competition. Legal and military. Mars aspect the 7th house Libra and the 8th Scorpio. Courts and contracts are activated. Lawyers, soldiers, police, and surgeons reach peak professional effectiveness. Research and investigation. Mars rules the 8th house theme. Ignite. Forensics, astrology, hidden research, and occult investigation. Virgo ascendants especially uncover profound truths during this window. Real estate and construction. The 4th house aspect from Mars in Aries activates property everywhere. Builders, architects, and developers begin transformative projects. Cancer ascendants experience a Raja Yoga level career window. Creatives and performers. Mars energy fuels creative audacity. Leo ascendants in their 9th house fortune window find new audiences abroad. Musicians, filmmakers, and digital creators find unexpected virality. Health and Ayurveda, Pitta rising. Health under the Mars transit. Mars governs Pitta dosha, blood, muscles, and the adrenal system. Aries rules the head and brain. Watch out for headaches, migraines, and eye strain. Inflammatory conditions such as skin rashes, acne, fevers, cuts, burns, accidents from impulsive action, digestive inflammation, acid reflux, ulcers, mental exhaustion from overexertion. Now let's go to the Ayurvedic remedies. Consume cooling foods such as cucumber and tender coconut water. Consume it as frequently as possible, especially the tender coconut water. Also amla. Apply coconut oil to scalp and soles of the feet. Drink coriander seed water in the morning. Soak some coriander seeds in the water and in the morning you can drink it. Neem and turmeric for blood purification. You can take capsules, or you can also use it in food in normal consumption. Avoid excessive caffeine and spicy summer foods. Yoga and pranayam. Shitali pranayam, also known as the cooling breath, 10 minutes daily. Moon salutations and sun salutations to balance solar intensity. Nervous system regulation. I have a separate video on this, uh, how to regulate the vagus nerve. I will put it in the description so you can take a look at it. Child's pose and pigeon's pose for tension release in the hip. Love and relationships. Love under the Martial sky. Mars 7th house aspects creates a direct tension between war and love. Navigate with awareness. Signs that experience romantic magnetism due to this transit. Aries. Your self-confidence surges. You become magnetically attractive to other through sheer presence. Leo. The 9th house Mars gives you charisma that reaches people at distance. New connections formed through travel, study, or online platforms. Cancer. Domestic magnetism rises. Your nurturing quality combined with Mars' protective energy creates a powerful romantic draw. Aquarius. Your social confidence peaks. New matings carry unusual intensity and karmic weight. Signs facing relationship pressure. Taurus. Martian energy agitates your 12th house. Hidden tensions in relationships surface. Past resentments may emerge suddenly. Address them, don't suppress. Mars. Libra. Mars 7th Mars in your 7th house creates the most direct relationship pressure. Your partner may be aggressive, unwell, or particularly demanding during this period. Your dharma here is patience and unconditional support, even when it's hard. Gemini. Relationship related financial disputes may surface. Don't mix money and love conversations during the height of this transit. The Mars Venus dynamic to understand. Mars in Aries aspects Libra. This creates a push pull between assertion and compromise in the collective relationship field. You will feel this as I want to be direct, but I don't want to damage the relationship. The resolution is not suppression of either, it's timing. Choose when to be direct based on your partner's receptivity, not your own urgency. For anyone considering marriage or major romantic commitments during this period, avoid Tuesdays and days when Mars is in exact aspect degrees for signing commitments. Best muhurtas are Sundays or Thursday mornings before noon in the Shukla Paksha. Couple facing ongoing disputes use Mars clarity to achieve a decisive resolution. Love under Mars and Aries is not gentle. It's passionate, direct, sometimes overwhelming, but it's also the most honest love you will experience all year. Handle it with courage and wisdom in equal measure. Harnessing the Martian arsenal, the final takeaway. Mars picks up immense power during this transit. While volatile, it provides the precise momentum required to accomplish what previously seemed impossible. The directive: use this energy to initiate new projects, summon the pure, unadulterated courage to master the very things you previously lacked the time, energy, or bravery to attempt. Thank you for being till the end with me on this narration and on this journey. Thank you for the presence. When the god of action enters an impulsive sign like Aries, the most powerful remedy in the universe is patience. Breathe, meditate, and plan. May this cosmic shift bring you power, purpose, and peace. Hara Hara Mahadev.